mates, and a beautiful teacher. Let me talk about England. Let me first introduce myself. I am Jose Rojas, and I'm going to talk about England. To introduce this presentation, I'm going to talk about an introduction, a second, about the customs and manners, third, about differences with American English, four, famous people from England, fifth, famous places in England, sixth, facts about the King of England, seven, fun and interesting facts about England, and eight, a conclusion. To introduce this topic, I have to know that England is part of the United Kingdom, the UK, together with the Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. It's located in the southern part island of Great Britain in the northwestern Europe. The capital city is London. England has a population around 57 million people. The currency is the same as the entire UK, which is a pound sterling. The official language is English, obviously. The form of government is a constitutional monarchy, and the national symbol is a St. George's cross, the red cross flag that we saw at the beginning together with the Union Jack, the flag for the entire United Kingdom. England is known worldwide for the rich history, cultural influence, and modern innovation. Some of the customs and manners that I want to share with all of you are this. England is known for its good manners and politeness. Here are some typical customs and social habits. First, the politeness is demonstrated by the English people when they say often please, thank you, and sorry. The second one is a queuing. They wait in the line and dislike people to skip the queue. A queue in England is the line in the US. They also have a very cultural thing known as the tea time. The traditional afternoon tea usually happens around 4 p.m. with tea, sandwiches, and scones. We know that the English people really love more tea than coffee. In England, they have a culture of a small talk, almost the same like in the US, because it's very common to talk about the weather. It's a polite way to start conversation. That is similar to the American culture. The punctuality, being on time is very important in England, and other traditions include the royal celebrations, the the Remembrance Day, and Christmas, obviously. Well, there's very marked differences between the British and the American English. Although English is spoken in both the UK and the USA, there are some differences between the British English and the American English in spelling, vocabulary, and pronunciation. Although both are forms of English, the British English and the American English differ in spelling, vocabulary, pronunciation, and sometimes grammar. Some spelling differences that I want to share with all of you are this. For example, in Britain, you say color with a U, but in American English, it's color. For example, the color of the flag is red, white, and blue. In UK, they say favorite with a U, while in American English, they say favorite. For example, my favorite subject is history. In the UK, they say century instead of senator, like in the US. For example, the shopping center is huge. In England, they say tetra instead of theater, like in the US. For example, We went to theatre last night. Also, it exists a difference with the word defense because in English it's written with a C and in the American English is with a S. For example, he plays in the defense of the football team. I want to make clear that when in England they refer to football, they refer to the football that we know here because in the USA the football is the American football and not the football with the foods. Some vocabulary differences that I want to share with all of you are this. For example, flat in England is apartment, lift is elevator, lorry is truck, biscuit is cookie, holiday is vacation, underground is subway, rubbish is trash or garbage, and trainers are sneakers. So there is a vocabulary differences because in America, some people uh, define so many things in a one way, while in England they define so many things in another way. I don't know if you know what I mean. The pronunciation has so many differences too. For example, in British English, the R at the end of the word is often not pronounced. For example, when you pronounce the word car, in England it sounds like car. In American English, they pronounce the R clearly in that word, but in the British English of England, they often don't pronounce it. For example, this is many accent differences inside of England. For example, Londoners speak the received pronunciation, while Americans have multiple regional accents. As I said in the last presentations, inside of England, it exists so many differences because what I'm here imitating is the accent from London, but inside of England, it exists other accents and other pronunciations as well. Well, I want to introduce to all of you famous people from England because England has produced most of the most influential people in world history in science, art, music, politics, and sport. For example, in the image, we can see a fictional character known as Sherlock Holmes with an actor from a movie from the character. One of the writers and poets that are most famous in England and all over the world are William Shakespeare, that is very famous for the playwright in English literature, like Romeo and Juliet and Hamlet. We have Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens is a famous novelist who brought Oliver Twist and A Christmas Carol. And obviously, we have J.K. Rowling, and she's the author of Harry Potter series loved around the world. In scientists and thinkers, we have Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton is the scientist who discovered the law of gravity. We have Charles Darwin, who developed the theory of evolution. And obviously, we have a Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking, we know that he was a very renowned physics and cosmologist. As musicians, England has a lot of very famous artists and musicians, but I'm going just to share the most famous of them. For example, we have the Beatles. The Beatles are the most famous rock band of all the time, and they are from Liverpool, a city in England. We have in modern times Adele, that is a Grammy winning singer known for her powerful voice, and Elton John. a legendary singer and pianist. As athletes, we have David Beckham, which is a very famous international football or soccer icon. Because we know when we talk in England about football, we're talking about soccer in the US. Because the word football in America is often used for the American football. But when you talk about football in England, you're talking about the real football with the feet. And we have Lewis Hamilton, that is a Formula One world champion. We also have many actors that are very famous worldwide. For example, we have Daniel Radcliffe, who is a star from Harry Potter. Harry Potter is one of the most famous movies and books series from England all over the world. We have Emma Watson also in the picture together with him, and a star from the movie Harry Potter. We have Benedict Cumberbatch, who is known for Sherlock and Doctor Strange. And obviously, we have Daniel Craig, that is famous for playing Bond, James Bond. That is also a personage, a character from the English culture, James Bond. Well, I want to share with all of you some famous places in England because England is full of historical landmarks, modern attractions, and beautiful landscapes. In London, we all know the Big Ben at the Houses of Parliament. That is a symbol of the British democracy. We have the Buckingham Palace, the official residence of the British monarch, the King of England and his family. We have the Tower of London, a historic fortress home of the crown jewels, the London Eye, that is a giant observation wheel offering stunning city views, and the world famous British Museum, one of the world's best museums, and that is also free to visit. Outside of London, in England, we have Stonehenge, which is a mysterious prehistoric monument made of giant stones. We have the universities of Oxford and Cambridge, two of the oldest and most prestigious universities in the world. We have the Windsor Castle, a royal residence, and one of the other castles is still in use. We have the Lake District, a national park famous for its lakes, mountains, and the poets. And we have Bath, a Roman city known for its hot springs and Georgian architecture. So many places that we have to visit in the future. Well, I want to make clear that England is not ruled by a queen anymore because we know that in the 8th of September of 2022, the Queen Elizabeth II died. So his successor is His Majesty King Charles III, which is the current monarch of England and the United Kingdom as a whole country and 14 commonwealths that belongs to the UK. About his personal information, we can talk about his full name, that is actually Charles Philip Arthur George. He was born in the 14th of November of 1948. I want to make clear a difference in the way that they read the dates in the US and the way that they read the dates in the UK and England, of course. For example, England uses the format that is widely used all over the world. First with the day, second with the month, and third with the year. While in the US, they use the format first with the month, second with the day, and third with the year. So the dates are read like this. He was born the 14th of November 1948. He became king at, at the 8th of September of 2022 after the death of his mother, the Queen Elizabeth II. His wife is the Queen Camilla, and his children are Prince William, the heir to the throne, and Prince Harry. His role, King Charles is the head of state of the United Kingdom and 14 Commonwealth countries. He has no political power, but he plays an important symbolic and diplomatic role. He represents the unity and the continuity of the British nation. His interests and achievements are that he is known for his environmental activism and love for the nature. He founded the Prince's Trust when he was a prince, a charity that helps young people with education and business. He advocates for sustainability, architecture, and organic farming. His coronation took place on the 6th of May 2023 at Westminster Abbey in London, and he was the first he has the first British coronation in 17 years, watched by millions worldwide. I want to share some fun and interesting facts about England. England has over 6,000 castles and historic houses. It was the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution. The English people drink about 100 million cups of tea every day. London was the first city in the world to have an underground railway system that they call the Tube. They have the shortest wall in history because the war was between England and Sasebo in 1896 and it lasts just 38 minutes. It's incredible. The King's Ward at Buckingham Palace are famous for not smiling, even if a story tries to make them laugh. Well, to conclude, I want to say that England is a country that beautifully combines ancient traditions with modern life and it shaped the world through his language, culture, invention, and ideas from the times of Shakespeare and Newton to the modern era of Adele and, and the King Charles III. England continues to be a symbol of history, elegance, and influence. Okay, thank you for listening.